this video is going to base on constructions, right? So almost anything that you need to know under construction in mathematics are going to be treated in this video. So make sure that you watch the video to the end, whereby we bring you all the tricks and then all the lay down procedure that can help you pass your construction questions in your and exams. Now we are going to solve a pure exams question, right? So make sure that you stay here to the end of this video. Now here's the first questions. So according to the question, the only tool that we are going to use is the a ruler, right? So my advice here is to use the long rule so that you won't find any difficulties, as well as all the pair of compasses. So this is what I'm having now, right? So this is a my pair of compass, and then that is the only two tools that we are going to use in this construction. So all that matters here is to know the technical definitions and how to construct them. That's why you need to stay here to the end of this video so that you can know all the tricks. Now, they say the first part is a construct triangle, right? Triangle PQR. So if you don't know what a triangle, this is a three-sided shape that looks something like this. So we don't know whether it will turn the other way around. That will based on the formation that we are going to deal with in just a few seconds. So you have a PQR. We don't know whether it go the other way around. So all that matters here, that is all the idea for a triangle. Now with the length, right? So this is what we call a length. So the length PQ, right? So meaning that at this time you are moving from someone's house to K with a distance of what we have 6.6 cm, right? So 6.6 cm, meaning that 6.6 was centimeters. So you are moving from this place to this place. So the first place is called what? P, and then the second one is called what? And then Q. Was that okay? So that is what they did. That distance is what 6 centimeters. Now look at something. If this is A4 sheet paper, right? Depending on the paper that you are having at your disposal. So what I'm having here is what A4 sheet. So the advice here is that you have to start at the middle, right? The middle of the paper, because you don't know exactly how big your drawing or your construction is going to be at the end. Now let's see. So we have what 6.6 cm, right? That is a 6.6 centimeters. So if you look closely to this, you can see that I have my numbers, right? So this is what a cm. So is that okay? Can you see? So that was just what a cm at the far end here. So this is a cm or rule. So cm, you are starting from the 0 to the 6.6. So just take your measurement. Is that okay? So take your measurement from here, from the starting point, right? So from the starting point here, is that okay? So from the starting point here, that is the 0, and then you are going to end at what? And then 6 for this is a 6 centimeter, and then 6.6. So 6.6. So there's a 0.5, and then what? And then 1. So that's what 6.6. So take this measurement and come back and come and let's continue. Okay, so this is a beautiful line that I'm having. So from P to Q. So I decided to extend this line, right? Nobody cares about all that matters here is to show the end point. So this is the end point here, right? So I take the measurement from this point and then end at this point. So here's a P to Q, right? So P to Q, that's a 6.6 centimeters. Is that okay? Now, very simple. Now, what follows? So the next one says that the length is Q to R. Q to R. So meaning that we are taking the measurement from what? From this point, right? So we are taking the measurement from this point, Q to R. We don't know now. We don't know whether our R will be somewhere here, right, or it will go like this. Is that okay? Or maybe it will come down, right? So here you have to make sure that you go upward. Is that okay? For the sake of the space of this paper. So from the Q to what? To the R, that is what? 8 centimeters. So just take your pair of compass, right? So pair of compass here, just take what? 8 centimeters on the compass, right? So starting from the point here, and then you end at somewhere here, right? So that's what the 8 centimeters. So this is what my 8 centimeters. So obviously this is how you have to take the measurement from what? From the starting here. Is that okay? From the start here, and then you add out the 8 centimeters, right? So that is what very clear. Is that okay? Okay, now take your so take this thing accurately. Is that right? So take this very very perfect. Okay, now so you are going to have the 8 centimeter. So remember the line says that we are starting at what point Q to somewhere the R direction. So taking from Q to the R, so we are going to stand here, right? So you are going to stand here and draw an arc, right? So that's the most important. You are going to draw an arc. Is that okay? We don't care where the arc will end. All that matters here is that we are taking the distance from the Q to anywhere. That is what the R, down R, right? So maybe a place called R. So this is the remember to hold the tips of your compass so that you close that measurement. Okay, perfect. So construct the arc here. Is that okay? Now construct the arc. So somewhere on this arc here is what our 8 centimeters, which we don't know yet because of what the third part of the triangle. That was very very important. Now, let's look at the what. So leave it as it is now. So the next one says that you should construct what an angle of a 60 degrees. So that angle will help us to know exactly where what the R what will intersect. Is that okay? Okay, remember they say what PQ what R, angle PQR. So angle PQR, that's the symbols of the angle PQ and then R, right? So angle PQR, meaning that the angle is formed at the middle here, right? So the angle is formed what at the middle. So this is where the angle is formed. So the angle is formed at what at the Q, meaning that we are going to construct what our 60 degrees at what at this point, right? So again at what at Q. So how to construct the angle 60 degrees is the most important thing. So how do you do that? For you to construct the angle for a 60 degrees, open your compass to any radius, right? So any radius of your own choice. Okay, this thing doesn't need any measurement. So this is just my own radius. You can it doesn't even need to be accurate, right? So all that matters is that you open to any radius of your own choice, which is a convenience. Don't make that too small. Okay, so open to this point here. So this is the length that I'm having here. Construct the arc. Look at something because they say you should start at what Q. The angle is formed at what Q. So make sure that you are at what at point Q. So take the measurement. So construct the arc here. So right. So construct the arc up to this point. Is that okay? Don't go like this, right? So don't go like this because you are facing here. This is where what your next town is, right? So some of the students, the mistakes that you have been doing, you move further to construct the angle somewhere outside what you're drawing. So it has to be within, right? So this now with the same radius, obviously they're having close or the length. So that's the same what radius. So obviously that's the same arc here. Come and stand at where what this first arc will intersect what this point, right? So the point of intersect here with the same radius, we are going to construct another one. So construct the arc that will go. So let's bisect or maybe something. Let's cross. But maybe that was just a simple definition. Let's cross the first arc here, right? So where they intersect, or I mean, in other words, where they meet, that is where we are going to have 60 degrees. So that's where the beginning of this question says I use a pair of compasses and a rule only. That's what we are going to use to answer the questions. So okay. So for sure, this is the view of our 60 degrees. Now, all I have to do here is that you take your rule, right? So you take your rule and then you rule what a very nice line from what from the point of the intersection up to this point here. So that's where you are going to have what our 60 degrees. Is that okay? So the very nice and what a simple one. So this will be what our 60 degrees. So this is a very beautiful 60 degrees that's what I've constructed, right? I hope you can see. So it was a very 60, very nice 60 degrees. So here's what we are calling what the 60 degrees, right? So that the angle what P, Q, and R is what the 60 degrees. For sure, we know that from here to here on this arc here is what 8 centimeters. So since that this angle what intersect the arc here, we can name here what R. That is exactly what we are looking for, right? So no rush here. Is that okay? So this point here is our town R. So maybe from town R, maybe from your school to your home, and maybe to your friends or to your friend's place. Is that okay? So now very very simple. Now, we can we can extend this point here to the P because we were told that this is what a triangle, right? So you just need to take your rule, and then I chose to extend this line that go beyond what the arc here. There's no problem in that. It's okay. You may decide to end here, but just for a clarification, I chose to go beyond. But this is just the measurement that I'm looking for. Okay, now let's extend this arrow to the P. Yes, I can talk. So the length this is according to the question, that was what 8 centimeters. So that one here is what 8 centimeters. So this is a very nice and beautiful triangle that we are having. The first part of the question says that we should locate by construction, right? By constructing a point S. So we are going to a different town. So that town is by name of X. So point S on what? PQ, right? So this is the line. So the town is somewhere on what? This route. So this is the route here. So a road from P to Q, right? Okay, so there's a town on this road by name of X. So we don't know exactly where that town is now. But remember, the question there is what? A question that says that such that the length of the distance from what? From P to S is equal to the distance from S to Q. This is the information that we are having, meaning that the number of the minutes that you are going to waste, or hours, or maybe by foot to anything that you are going to waste from what? P to that town S, it should be what? It must be the same or distance that you are going to waste from what? From S to Q. So all that it means here is that you are going to divide this line into two equal parts. Is that okay? So that's the secret here. So we are going to divide the line from P to Q here into two equal parts, right? So we are sharing this root here to let's divide it to two equal parts. No cheating here. Is that okay? How do you divide something so into two equal parts? So in construction we call it what? A bisecting. So we are going to bisect this line into two equal parts. So how do you bisect? That is the most important. The word is what? Bisect, right? So you are going to bisection. So bisect here. So bisect, right? So that's the word. So bisect means that in construction means that we are sharing the thing into two equal parts. So we are just going to use this pair of compass once again to do that. So the way of doing that, which line are you bisecting? That was the most important thing. You have to know the line that you are bisecting. So here we are going to bisect this line from P to K. Okay, so all that we are going to do here, you stand here, stand at what? One end here, open to what? More than half of the line. This thing doesn't need any rule, right? So for sure you can see that where I am standing right now is more than half of the line, right? So this is the line that I'm talking about from here to here. Okay, now so open to more than half of this line here, and then you construct one arc at this point, right? And then you construct another arc at the down here. Is that okay? So construct arc at the top here, construct arc at the down with the same radius. What I mean by the radius, don't close the compass as it is. Come and start also at the other end here. So this is another end, and now let's cross this the first by setting. So make sure that you have the pressure at the pointer side of your compass, right? So so let's cross the first arc here, and then cross the down one, right? So here you can see that the top one is not properly well crossed. So come and stand here again, then extend that line. Is that okay? So now you have two different intersection, right? So there's one here and then there's one here. So what we are going to do there, you have to take your rule and then join this line so that you can see clearly that that thing bisect or divide this line to two your equal parts. So clearly you can see that the line from here to here is the same distance from here to here, right? So here is a tan X. So that is what the question is saying. So there's a tan here by name X. Okay, now let's move on. The second part of or the next part of the question says that construct ST, right? So you already know the S here. We don't know where our T will be. So construct ST parallel to what? QR. So the word parallel to QR. So where is the QR? So QR here is here, right? So Q to R. Is that okay? So you are going to construct S and then T so that will be parallel to QR. The word parallel means you don't have to what to meet at any point. Is that okay? So if there's someone working on this route here from here to here, then there must be another person that will move from here to here like this, so that they will never meet. Is that okay? They will never meet. That's the word parallel in mathematics, right? So these two people will never meet anywhere. They will be going to what whatever they wish to end. Okay. Now, how are you going to do that parallel portion? Now, you can see that here, there's a line here, there's a line here, there's an angle, right? So there's an angle that's also a 60 degree. Once you bend like this, let's say this is our line S to T. Have you seen that this line will meet what this root here, which is the RK. We don't want that thing to happen. So what we are going to do here, we are going to construct another 60 degrees of at this point, right? So you are going to construct to another 60 degrees at so that this line will never meet anywhere in their future, right? Okay. So if this is the angle that we are having, because you say they say what ST, right? So you are going to construct what another 60 degrees somewhere here. So if you want to construct like this, you know how to construct the 60 degrees already, right? So you construct, just stand here, I will construct the arc and then come and stand here, and then you construct what, another arc. Is that okay? So this will be what our 60 degrees, right? So this is a very nice 60 degree that I'm having, right? So at this point, there's a 60 degrees to this down axis. So you draw the line, right? So just rule this line straight forward. So you can see clearly that these two people will never intersect. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any issues. So this is my beautiful line that I'm having, right? So we have the line from the S to T. We don't know where the T is, so based on the next instruction, that's where we can locate our T. But now you can see that these two people here, right? This line and then this line, the way they are going, the direction in which they are moving towards, there's no way they can meet, right? They will never meet in the future, so they will keep on going as it. So that's the meaning of the word dot and then parallel. The question for us is such that STR, right? So our S is here. We don't know where T is. So T, R, and Q. So you have S here, and the R is here, and then Q is here. So such that these people is a parallel, right? So they are parallel. They are parallelogram. So sorry. So they is what a parallelogram. If you don't know a parallelogram, maybe you may quickly search for that word somewhere. So if you don't know what exactly it is, make sure that you comment down below. Is that okay? So this is one of the four-sided figures here. Now, so that is a parallelogram. So talking about the parallelogram, so we have one end here already. So this is a straight line here, right, from S to Q here. So that should be T to T. So that should be another a straight line from here to that point. Is that okay? So just join these lines for you to have that parallelogram. Okay, so the way I had this joint here is that you remember that this from here from the Q to the R was what 8 centimeters. Is that okay? So you have to make sure that you are having the same 8 centimeters for you to have the parallelogram. So the properties of the parallelogram is that I think the opposite sides are equal, right? So if you here and here has to be equal, the same has to apply from here to here. But once that we have this 8 centimeter at this point, we are free to go. So how do you do that? How do you do that? Remember how we got this 8 centimeter? We just took the 8 centimeters relating to the rule here, and they have the arc down, right? So that's a very simple how I got from here the point of at this point. So according to the question, this here is here is T, right? So here is T. Okay, now this is what we are having. So they say you should take a measurement. So you are going to take a measurement. So this is a very beautiful construction, a pure exams question. So if you have any issue, make sure that you grab or comment down below. Okay, now the next part says that you should measure, right? So we are going to measure the length of what PR. So meaning we are going to take the measurements of a PR. What is the PR? So from here to this point here. So just take your measurement, take your rule, and then measure everything down from the starting, right? So if you know how to measure, so yeah, that should be here, and then you read it on your rule. I mean, someone can use the compass to take the measurement when you are done. You come and read it on your ruler. So with this question, make sure that you take your measurements some may value. There's no need for you to have an accurate answer, maybe point something on top. That is not necessarily the case here. So we are free to go, right? So all that matters is that we are not interested in a very huge difference. Okay. Now the next one says that you should find the length of T to R, right? So the distance from how long are we going to take from T to get to the R. So where is the T? So T is here and then the R, right? So these people they are close. So just take that measurement and write it down. And then finally they say you should take the measurements of angle what S of STR. So STR. So this is the symbol of what angle STR. How do you measure the angle STR? Remember, for you to take a measurement of an angle, you need a protractor, right? So you are going to take a protractor to take that measurement. So this is a very beautiful protractor that I'm having. So for you to have your angle down here, so the angle is formed at the middle letter, which is the T, right? So the angle is formed at the middle letter, so that is T. So for you to have this T here, how are you going to take that measurement? So S to T. Where is the S? So you have the S here to T and then the R. So the angle here. Is that okay? So the angle here, say this is how you take the measurement. So remember, this protractor has two dimensions. So which dimension are you going to? So this is the starting point. So the starting point is always at the middle, right? So the starting point is always at the middle. So here's the trick here. So you are starting from this point here, and then make sure that the X that you are talking to, or maybe where you are taking the measurement, this is the X, has to be in line with this starting point of the protractor, right? So if you have it in line with this protractor, right? And then this one is also at the center of the T here. So the next thing that you are going to do here is to just read have you seen? So that's exactly, so this one has to be in line with this X, and then this is the starting point, the middle letter, which is the T, and then you have your you just need to read the angle that you are going to get at this point. So here, from here, remember this thing has a two dimension. There's no way you can start reading from the 180. So you are going to start reading from the zero. So from the zero, and then you read to until you get to where they're asking you to find. So here, right? So that's the what I said at the beginning. That you need to extend this line is. You may choose to extend the lines out to this point so that you can have a clear vision, right? So write your answer down in the comment section below. Now make sure that you stay here. We have another beautiful question for you to answer, or maybe we'll guide you through that question.